we are still not quite into standard. This is the next step. And this is a very happy step. We are going to be multiplying those 2-digit numbers by multiples of 10. Meaning, really, we're just multiplying by 1. We're just multiplying by one number. So let me show you. Now, I'm only going to show you this because it's part of the test. Let's say I'm doing 20 times 28. First off, the minute I see something written out like this, and that 20 is first, I am immediately rewriting it to look like this. I always want the 20 on the bottom, or whatever with the 0 on the bottom. I'll get into that reason why in just a bit. If you are seeing 20 times 28 and they're putting it in an array, a lot of times that array will be like this. Now remember, my arrays are not going to be accurate, so we're just going to be like, cool, whatever. Now, I can either do the array with a 20 and an 8 and then a 20, but I want to show you what you're going to be seeing on the test, okay? So, I could have it like this, and here's a 10, and here's a 10. So this side represents how much in all? 20, because this part is 10 and this part is 10. When I see more than one 10 along one side, I add up all those 10s to see how many there are in all. This is technically showing me 20. Now I'll do the same thing here, but I'll do it like this. 10, 10, 8. I know that's a very poor representation of 8 compared to 10, but whatever. This added up, 10 plus 10 plus 8 is 28, right? Now on the test, you will see questions where you'll be getting the same array that looks just like this, and then it will be give me the product of the shaded area, meaning a certain part of it will be shaded in. So if it were just this shaded in, what is that asking you to find? It is asking you to find 28 times 10. That's what it's asking you to find. If only these two right here were filled in, 20 times 8. If only this was filled in, 20 times 10. Okay? So that's why I want you to pay attention to the fact that this is not just a 10, this is actually in all 20. And the reason they've divided it up like that is they like to mess with your brain and make you confused. So that's why we look at it carefully. It has been divided up. 10, 10, and 8, that is 28. 10 and 10, this is 20. Okay? And the reason it's been divided up is it's going to shade certain bits. These are partial products. It's kind of like the box method. Okay? So all you got to do is pay attention to the numbers on the side of what's shaded in and go right here. This is showing 28 times 10. Now, that's not what it's asking me to do. The whole thing is asking me to do 28 times 20. But if the question is, what is the partial product of the shaded area? What is it showing you in just the shaded part? I need to do 28 times 10 to solve it. Okay? Now, moving on from that, we'll go into it a bit more later. Back to this 28 times 20. I have rewritten it this way. And now that I've drawn my array, I'm going to rewrite it over here so I have more room. So 28 times 20. When I am dealing with multiplying with a 20, first thing I do is I just drop that 0 down. Just drop it in. And then I go straight over here and start multiplying like that. The 2 times the 8. And now I am not making the 2 a 20. I am now going to be carrying over and doing normal multiplication. Okay, watch me. Watch me. 2 times 8 is what? 16. 16, right? My 6, carry my 1. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 56, 560. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you one other way to do it that might make your brain a little happier. So let's say I have 12 times 20. I can write 12 times 20 like this. Or I can write 12 times 20 like this. Because now all I do is I drop that 0 down and I just focus on 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 1 is 2. So this is going to make it easier for you. Instead of just going over here and then up, this makes it almost more like the regular standard that we did when we first learned multiplication. Let's try another one. 21 times 30. I'm going to write it in my sort of staggered way. 21, oops, I wrote it the normal way. 21 times 30. You do not have to write it this way. Drop down that 0. 3 times 1, 3. 3 times 2, 6. Ta-da! That's it. That's it. I told you this was a happy one. Let's do another. 35 times 20. Now I'm going to write it normally. 35 times 20. I'm going to show you both ways. Okay. Drop down that 0. This is the only time you ever do anything like this. Anytime it's not a 0, you do not just get to drop it down, okay? Drop down that 0, and I'm done with that, and now I'm only focusing on the 2. 2 times 5 is... Write my 0, carry my 1. 2 times 3 is plus 1. So 35 times 20 is 700. Okay? Because I'm not focusing on the 0. I just drop that down. All I'm focusing on is 2 times 5 and 2 times 3. So let's do another. 63 times 20. Now I'm going to write it the other way to help you if it gets a little confusing. Write it like this. Okay? Drop down that 0. And now we've just got some standard multiplication here. If I cover this up, it looks like I never even had it, and I'm just doing 63 times 2.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay? Okay. So... 2 times 6.
2 times 6.
What? 2 times 3. 6. 2 times 6. See, I had it right. I just said it in the wrong direction. 2 times 6 is 12. So now I write the full 12. So now 1,260 is my answer.
I like that. I like that.
I mean, this makes your brain a little happier, but you can only write it like this when it's by a multiple of 10. You cannot do 63 times 22 like this. Okay? That's different. All right, one more. I'm hearing happy noises, so I think we're starting to get this. Okay, 27 times 60. And remember, you never, ever put the multiple of 10 on top. It's always on bottom. That's going to help you. If you were to write it upside down, if you were to do 60 times 27, you would really be putting yourself in a tricky situation because now you don't have a 0 to drop, and now you're probably going to do 7 times 6 and then 2 times 6. And you're going to get yourself mixed up. Or you're not going to be sure what to do. So never put it on top ever, ever, ever. 27 times 60. Drop down that 0. If I need to, I can cover it up. And now I'm just left with a happy little 2-digit by 1-digit. 6 times 7 is?
42.
Write my 2, carry my 4. 6 times 2 is? 12 plus 4 is? What?
16.
Thank you.
16.
Now I uncover it, and magically I've turned my 3-digit into a 4-digit.
Magic. This is simple.
Okay, like everything we ever do, guys, the more you practice it, the more simple it becomes.
Okay.
A lot of your faces did not look like this at the beginning of this lesson, and now I'm seeing a lot more smiles and less furrowed brows. You know what a furrowed brow is?
Yeah. Trying to smile.
Okay. So, we're feeling good? We're feeling okay?
No.
Let's do one more.
Wait.
66 times 40.
Wait, slow down. That's it.
66 times 40. Drop that 0. Cover it up. I'm looking at 4 times 6.
No.
4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 6 is 24 plus 2 more. 26. Uncover it. I've got my answer. Cool, right?
This is a lot easier. Wait.
Okay.